I'm here with Mr. J.R. Mounts here at beautiful Magic City Comic Con 2017 on day 3. Mr. J.R., how are you doing this morning? And can you talk a little about these awesome comic books and so forth that you've created?
Hey, I'm doing great. This show has been very good to me. A lot of families are here, a lot of fans are here, and I've actually seen people from other shows come to this show too. So Alabama's hopping.
It very much is. There's been a lot of people here, a lot of big actors and indie creators like yourself and all kind of creative people. How did you come up with your main character here? It's on the billboard. Tell us a little about that, and then you go in some of your other books and other things you've created.
It's like anything anybody creates. I was a musician trying to look for another avenue that I could control myself, So a friend of mine suggested I get into comic books, and it seemed harder than it was at the time. And as I'm starting to draw some of these characters, I wanted these kids that I'm drawing here to come up with their own comic books. So I'm doing the Scary Tales, which is like Calvin Hobbes meets Nightmare Before Christmas, and these kids were going to write their own comic book, something strange, something funny. And my same friend took me out, and she said, let's have some fried pickles. I'd never had them before. They were fantastic, and I'm like, oh my, these are fantastic. And she picks one up. She's like, you should create a character out of a fried pickle. And my mind just went blown. I'm like, I was watching a lot of noir and Hitchcock at the time, and it was like, I already know what his name is. It's Fried Pickle Noir. And oh my gosh, he's cumbersome. The puns, food crime, the noir, it just all came down.
Very, very cool. And you've got a lot of characters. You mentioned some like a knockoff of, or some kind of read Samuel L. Jackson-esque character.
Yeah, the Fried Pickle Noir is Sin City meets Veggie Tales. It's crime stories about fruits and vegetables trying to bump each other off. And Cumbersome is the long arm of the slaw. But you also meet characters like Hellraisin, Hater Tot, and Salmonella, as well as like the Tiramisu, Jimmy Crack Corncob, and Spamuel Jackson.
Wow. You've got like the shark thing. There's some other stuff you're working on here and a few other books. What is that about?
I also do the Finleys with my buddy Chris Garrett. It's about sharks that are cursed to be born in chum buckets and have to learn to live among humans. And it stars Wyatt Finley, the great Wyatt Shark.
Wow. How long have you been doing this? And when you said you were getting into music before you did this. What kind of music was that? And how did it, what other stuff you got on the horizon with your books?
I was always born on like really good music. The Beatles, Sinatra, all those guys. And then I found like AC/DC and Kiss and Iron Maiden. And then over time, after I was like learning how to play guitar, I wanted to be a guitar god, and everybody wants to do it. But I also loved the lyrics. Like, I'm a big Sondheim fan, big musicals fan. And I always found musicals told a really great story. So marrying music to lyrics that told a story and that went someplace just seemed a logical move. I got into musicals with my best friend Mike McQuaid. We did a musical on Scarlet Letter, and that kind of opened the door to 3 hours of storytelling. Because a song is 3 minutes, but a musical can be 3 hours. And so I brought that storytelling to my comic books, and that you're like, okay, well, stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. There has to be an arc. The character's got to go somewhere. Even though I'm doing funny characters, something's got to happen. Like, what's the scar about? Well, there's a story behind that. And for myself, I ended up finding ways to combine music with my comic books. The first one I did was a musical on the Scary Tales, where the Snombies, they are zombie snowmen that come back to life hungry for clothing, all right? They come back to life looking for everybody, and we turned it into a musical. The nature of it is like Calvin and Hobbes meets Nightmare Before Christmas. That's the Scary Tales. But that was fun because I loved doing like your Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown type nature. But I wanted to take it a step further with my first adult book, and this is probably the best work I've done. It's called Stuck in My Head. It's about a guy who's happily married, but he's got a really crappy job, so all he does is daydream about killing his coworkers. It's a book about adults going through, they still have like problems with depression and am I good enough? Am I a failure? This guy's hit bottom. He's so angry about where he's at in his life because he used to be a daydreamer. He was going to be a rock star, a superhero, and he's got to find a way to have hope and happiness. And as an adult, that's harder to do than when you're a kid. When you're a kid, you got the rest of your life ahead of you. And I wrote 2 CDs worth of music for it as a. Yeah, it comes free.
Very cool.
Just to let people know. And it's a love letter to my wife wrapped in profanity and gore. I put it up on Kickstarter to see would anybody care if I did something that wasn't having a pickle or the kids and monsters. And it got funded in 3 hours. I was expecting to go 52 days, and I had 51 days and like, I don't know how many, 21 hours left to go.
You said how 3 days?
No, it got funded in 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours. I went to do some laundry, and I rarely do laundry, so I went to do laundry, and it was done before I was in the drying cycle. It was fantastic.
Very, very cool. And I have some quick questions. You got all this creative stuff. I mean, for up-and-coming artists and people in the creative field, what's some inspirational stuff you could tell them, like to kind of inspire them to keep going? Like your book, you talk about this guy hit rock bottom and hope and stuff like that. You go on that topic?
My one advice to everybody is finish your work. You don't need Marvel and DC. I love Marvel and DC. You don't need a big publisher to publish your work. I publish my stuff to CreateSpace, which is an Amazon affiliate, because it gives guys like me the entire power and control to do your own work. But you got to finish it. If you finish your work, then you can print it. If you print your work, then you can order it. And then you can put it on a table that you purchase here. You buy a table at Magic City. Put your book on there and present yourself to people. Don't be a jerk to people when you got the opportunity to see all this stuff, but just don't give up, because I'm not the greatest artist in the world. I know artists that are much better than myself. You know, I have a niche. And I have a voice, maybe. But my message to everybody is just get good at what you want to do, and don't give up. If you're not as good now, just get better. But don't let that stop you from putting out number one, because the minute you hold one book that you've done, it's like a baby being born, and then you want it again and then again. If you only want that one passion project you had to do before you died, then get it done, see what it feels like, answer that question, what if? I like to answer the question, what next? You know, so I go from this book to that book. I got more books in my head. I better live to be 144, you know. But what I have found is everybody has a chance. You know, I've got a banner that looks like my work. This is what's printed. When someone cracks open a book, they're going to see my work. And it's not going to be like a Jim Lee cover and someone else's art.
It doesn't have to be.
Exactly. I like to rise on my successes and then learn from my failures. Where I have done wrong, you know, where I've not done as well, teaches me how to get better the next time. I just don't give up. It takes money. It takes being money smart. You got to be money smart. No gold toilets. All right, no gold toilets. You know. But if you're smart and you can stay in this game, you can have another book and another book and another book. I got this one giant book. I got 4 Scary Tales books. I'm working on the 4th Fried Pickle book. You know, the 3rd Finley's book, and I've got other one-shots like this that I'm planning on doing, you know, that I'm willing to fund for myself and try my best here.
Very cool, some very wise words, man. Right quick, do you have any website links or Twitters or Facebooks? And also, do you have any other upcoming events you're going to be out floating around the digital grid in life?
You can reach me at Scary Tales Noir. All right, it's scary with an I. It's SCAIRY. Tales like TALES, and Noir, NOIR. It's a combination of Scary Tales and Fried Pickle Noir. I've got the full year planned out. I've got 1 weekend off a month for the rest of the year. I'm coming back to Hamicon next year. I've got Yamacon in Pigeon Forge. I'm doing Heroes and Villains in Nashville. I'm at Dragon Con. I'm at AWA. I'm very fortunate enough to get into a lot of really good shows. I'm going to the North Carolina Comic-Con. I'm going all over the place. I've been to Texas, Indiana, California, Ohio. I'm hitting Virginia for the first couple of times this year. I'm very excited. Very excited.
That's awesome, man. It's a good talking with you, sir. Keep rocking and rolling and keep up the awesome work. This is Owen with SciFiction.com.